Alrighty, it's your boy, the Satisfied Rat, coming at you with another one. We're going to be reacting to facts only Minecraft veterans know. So we'll see how many facts we knew or are blown away by. Because I used to play back in the day, like a lot of people, at the height of it. But maybe I play like once a year now. So we'll see.
Are you a Minecraft OG? Here are 34 facts that only the real OGs will know. Number 1. Fire used to spread insanely fast. Once it got out of hand, it would
I remember
destroy
that.
entire forests. When fire was introduced, it was assigned to wood material. So walking through fire made the same sound as walking on planks. Back
I
in
didn't know
India,
that.
water had a 66% chance of evaporating. Bet you didn't know that. The texture
No.
you see when underwater is the original water from 2009. One of the oldest textures currently in the game. Number 3. In Minecraft Classic, you could defuse an exploding TNT
I remember
by
that.
punching it. Same goes for activating the TNT. Remember the old explosion sound? You were able to create monster traps by putting a pressure plate directly on top of the TNT. Enchanting used to be super hard. It required 50 levels instead of 30, and it took all the levels from you. The first enchanting tables were made from cobblestone. There used to be a glitch where the only enchantment available was feather falling. If you enchanted something on a server, you couldn't log off, otherwise the item would lose the enchantments. Number 5. A creeper didn't stop when exploding. It kept walking closer towards you. Creepers would only detonate if you killed them, and all explosions produced leaf particles. Actually, they used to be a melee mob at first, comparable to zombies. If a creeper exploded next to lava, you'd get lava as a block. Water clutching wasn't always in the game. Update 1.4 made water negate all fall damage. Previous to that, you would die by jumping into shallow water. Glass used to look like this and this. You could even drop items into glass. Two massive pillars indicated the location of the stronghold. Can you believe that stained glass was added 9 years ago? I feel old now. Number 7. Ghasts used to shoot burning snowballs. Unlike today, Ghasts easily survived multiple fireball shots. Nether portals were intended to spawn Ghasts in the overworld. For a while, there used to be a funny bug where Ghasts were shooting diamond
I don't
helmets.
remember that.
This is the first minecart texture, and they were used to store things, similarly to chests. Once minecarts became rideable, the player would simply stand inside, because there was no sitting animation. Prior to powered rails, players invented ways of boosting minecarts. In beta 1.5, you'd fall through the floor when leaving a minecart. This was especially dangerous on a bridge or close to the void. Number 9. The secret updates were 10 weekly patches released by Notch during the alpha days of Minecraft. All secret updates included major new features such as spawners, chickens, boats, redstone, and sneaking. Every week there was a new update. That's absolutely insane compared to today. Mojang is simply lazy. There were actual
I do think about that every once in a while. Like, Notch was just like a solo dude, but he would be adding crazy stuff. And now, like, Microsoft, they can barely add jack squat. Or if they do, it's like not very good. So
spawners in the game, and the dragons were on half a heart, so the devs could test the death animation. Killing the ender dragon gives the most XP in the game, but it used to give even more, 20,000 experience to be exact. Only Minecraft veterans will know this, but we're just getting started. Number 11. The golden apple was added because of a joke. Player named JTE included a crafting recipe for gapples at the bottom of her guide. That inspired Notch to actually implement golden apples. His recipe used gold blocks, later changed to golden nuggets, and then to ingots. In the original recipe, JTE thought of using golden ingots. She literally predicted the recipe years before. In beta, merely walking over farmland would turn it into dirt. That made farming much more annoying. You couldn't stack bread or meat, so you had to sacrifice half of your
I remember
inventory.
that.
The solution was to bring wheat instead, which was stackable. Bread once required 6 wheat to be crafted. Number
don't
13.
remember that.
Prior to beta 1.7, there were no shears in Minecraft. The way to obtain wool was by punching sheep. They didn't drop any food, so it was pointless to kill them. In in-depth, sheep spawned without wool. Enderman made zombie sounds before Mojang gave them their own sound. In the beta demo, Enderman dropped diamonds instead of pearls. Enderman had green eyes and were able to pick up any block, including obsidian, spawners, and even bedrock. Today, they can only pick up these. Number 15. In the early days, you could only have 5 worlds in total. Pressing F would cycle between 4 levels of fog and render distance. The sun would go down in stages, which was both really cool and also quite creepy. On top of that, brightness was always set to moody, so once night came, you wouldn't see a thing. In survival test, pigs dropped brown mushrooms. This was the first pig model. Notch messed up and accidentally created the creeper. The
I knew
proper
that.
pig model was cross-eyed.
I think a lot of people
the
know
pig
that.
face used to be flat. The snout didn't protrude from their face. For a few weeks, you were able to ride baby pigs. Number 17. When Mojang decided to add another dimension, they had a couple of options. Hell, Paradise, and finally, Woods. Hell ended up becoming the Nether. Notch also wanted to add a sky dimension, similar to the Ether. There was once a secret item in the game. It was the fire item. It worked the same way flint and steel does, but it also had another use, crafting chainmail armor. In Bedrock
What?
Edition, you can still get soul fire as an item. Number 19. Prior to alpha, if you mined a furnace while it was smelting, you'd get a burning furnace block. Before furnaces, items were smelted by burning them with flint and steel. Don't try this today. The model of wolves looked like this, and if you shot yourself with an arrow, your wolf would start attacking you. There was a time where you could breed wolves by feeding them wheat. I told you, the facts only get harder as the list goes on, so wait until the end. I promise you'll be surprised. Number 21. You're playing survival and you need a little help. Just open the world to LAN and allow cheats. But back in the day, there was no such option. You had to use an inventory editor, such as too many items or inf-edit. Just talking about it gives me nostalgia, because I might have used them once or twice. Minecraft for Free was a website where you played the pirated game. When Notch found out, he got furious. So the owners came up with an idea. Challenge Mojang to a Quake free duel. If Notch wins, the site owners have to make a dubstep song. But if they win, Mojang has to give them capes. The result? Notch completely destroyed them. Number 23. The Wither was discovered by accident. Jeb left the skin hidden in the code, but someone managed to find it. Have you noticed the sides of chiseled red sandstone? Despite having no feet, Withers are still capable of making footstep sounds. The bedrock texture is basically stone with really high contrast. In survival test, Notch replaced the bottom bedrock layer with an infinite lava sea. Before beta 1.3, bedrock was destroyed just by planting a wheat seed below it. Number 25. The height limit wasn't always the same. In the beta version, it was only 127. However, beds, signs and torches could be placed above it. What's even crazier is that if you went above the build limit, you'd become invisible. There was a way to bring water into the Nether. You had to use a pickaxe with silk touch to obtain ice, bring the ice into the Nether and turn it into water. As soon as this became popular, the devs fixed it. The reason why we have ice and snowy biomes is because someone on Twitter gave Notch the idea and he thought it was an awesome suggestion. Number 27. Skeletons shoot an arrow every 1.5 seconds, but this wasn't always the case. The rate of fire used to be determined by the difficulty. So in hardcore, skeletons used to shoot arrows super fast. In beta, skeletons held their bows like this. And if you killed a skeleton, it would shoot 6 arrows in every single direction. Redstone was supposed to be just a potion ingredient, but before redstone was in Minecraft, there were gears. They could be placed on walls and even on the sides of lava and water blocks. Number 29. Items didn't float in the older versions. If you died in an ocean,
Oh
river, or
yeah,
lake,
I remember
all the
swimming down to
items
the
would
bottom of
sink
that.
to the bottom, and you had to manually pick them up one
That's
by
so
one.
annoying.
Since there was no swimming, this process was extremely slow and painful. Only OGs remember how updates were announced. Take the Halloween update for example. It was supposed to include lanterns, but they wouldn't be in the game for another 8 years. Mojang wanted to change torches, so they would die after some time, and add lanterns that would burn forever. Players didn't agree with this idea, and so Notch decided against it. Number 31. In beta, squids could be milked with a bucket, just like cows. There was
What?
one issue though. Squids spawned at the bottom of the ocean. Squids didn't despawn. This made them the first Minecraft pet. Once you captured it into an aquarium, it would stay there forever. Food was hard to come by. One of the best ways was farming zombie pigmen, because they dropped cooked pork chop. This is how the first pigman looked, suggested by the player Mick Lee. As a reward, Notch gave him a custom bacon cape. Pigmen weren't designed for the nether. They were supposed to live in villages. They would be called the Pigman Bodyguard, and the players would hire them for protection. Number 33. Wooden slabs required a pickaxe to be mined. They were also immune to fire. The first ever slab was the dirt slab, but they never made it. Rather, we got stone slabs, and you could get those by mining coal ore, because there wasn't any inventory or crafting at the time. In 2011, there was a funny bug where if you died, the items you had duplicated into ghost copies. When you tried picking them up, this happened. You had to go through all of the fake items if you wanted to get your stuff back.
You know, there were some good ones on there that I knew about, and there's some other ones I didn't know about, so hope you guys enjoyed it.